Lupa, a novella by Mahesh Ravi, continued. Chapter 3. Mumo Lupa. Sweat mixed with rain streamed into my eyes, blurring my vision. But I didn't stop running. They were behind me. If I collapsed, they'd drag me back into the chains, into the current, into the pain. That searing electric current that split the mind. No, not again. I wasn't going to rot in that place anymore. I didn't know what had happened to her. The last I saw, she was on the floor, blood soaking through her skull. And they were dragging me away. Even as they pulled me across the cold floor, I had screamed at the strangers, begged them to help her. After that, it was all a blur. I came to, shackled and locked, in a place that smelled like rust and bleach. I don't know how far I ran, but now the roads looked familiar. And then, suddenly, I turned a corner, and there they were. A pack of stray dogs growling, teeth bared. I had no time to stop and no space to go back. I ran through them, hoping to bluff my way past. They gave chase, 10 of them, maybe more. When I collapsed, they lunged. Teeth sank into my arms, my back, my legs. Claws tore through my clothes. I could feel them shredding flesh. Through the haze of pain, my hand found a stick. And I struck the first one hard across its face. It yelped and backed away. I stood up swinging. The others hesitated. They circled, watching. I turned and walked. Slowly. After a few paces, I saw light. A place. Maybe a hotel or something. I didn't remember it being here. Wasn't this where the old textile mill used to be? I stumbled toward the entrance, dizzy and parched. The courtyard was lit with strings of ornamental bulbs. Under every little umbrella sat groups of men drinking and women barely dressed. As soon as I stepped in, one of them rushed toward me. "Outside, go," he said, alarmed. "Just a little water," I whispered. He turned and shouted something inside. From the glowing purple interior, a large figure emerged. And as he stepped into the light, I saw his face. It was him, the one who had kicked her aside like garbage, the one who ran when she lay bleeding. Here, now standing before me. Something surged up from the pit of my stomach, raced through my veins like fire. No thought, no hesitation. I grabbed a bottle from a nearby table and smashed it across his head. Blood spurted from his temple and he collapsed, wailing. Or was it laughter? I knelt on his chest, the jagged glass pressed against his throat again and again. His laugh slowly faded. He stared up at me, lifeless, with a mocking smile that didn't belong to the living. Time was slipping. I had to get home. I stood up and ran. The rain had let up. The alley would be slick. She had slipped here before, more than once. They wanted me to quit this hellhole and go back home. I couldn't. Not yet. In the distance, someone was singing in a broken voice, a Bengali song. Tomra je bolo dibosha rojoni, bhalobasha, bhalobasha. As I approached, the man turned to look at me, startled. Sahib, he said, shielding his eyes with a trembling hand. I couldn't see his face clearly. He pulled a penlight from his coat pocket and pointed it at me, and I saw him. The same man, the one I had just killed. His face twisted into a cruel smirk. No time. I lunged. With both hands, I wrapped my fingers around his neck, pressed my thumbs into his throat, deep. He thrashed like a dying bird, then stilled. His body hit the ground with a dull thud. I stepped over him and climbed the stairs. Room 312. This was her favorite room. She used to say it felt like a tiny house, warm, safe. The door was locked from the inside. She had to be there. The gash on her head must have clotted by now. She was careless. She needed me. I knocked, waited. Eventually I heard the bolt click. The door swung open, but it wasn't her. It was him. Again. Before he could react, I kicked the door with everything I had. He flew backward onto the bed. When I had first opened the door that night, he was there too. And she had been on the floor, drenched in blood. I ran in, grabbed him, and threw him down. Before he could get up, I stomped on his chest. I felt his ribs snap under my heel. He went still. I locked the door. She wasn't here. She must have stepped out. On the bed lay a folded white dress shirt, the one she said she liked. I picked it up. Then, a knock at the door. It had to be her, but I couldn't let her see him. I grabbed him by the ankles and dragged him to the bathroom. He was heavy. I hoisted him into the tub, pulled the shower curtain over. Then I went to the door and opened it. She was there, and for a second I had forgotten how beautiful she was. I pulled her into an embrace, pressed my lips against hers. We tumbled onto the bed. I don't know how long we stayed like that. Her body wrapped around me like a serpent. Somewhere along the way, I must have drifted into sleep. Everything was whole again. Her, United States, the life we were building. When I woke, I was alone. I could hear water running. She must be in the shower, but he was still in there. She couldn't see him. Near the table, I saw a wrench. I picked it up and crept toward the bathroom. The door was slightly ajar. What I saw stopped me cold. In the dim yellow light, a young woman stood half naked, her hair dyed pink. She looked almost Chinese. She was bending over, unaware. Before she could turn, I swung the wrench. Blood sprayed across the wall like a burst of tiny red blossoms. She tried to crawl away. I struck again, and she went still.
Epilogue. Room 312. I had been standing there for quite some time. The midday sun drilled down on my skull like a nail. Not a scrap of shade in sight, not even a tree with a name. Just like they said, a dry, sun-bleached city. An unfamiliar language, a new job I didn't care about, foreign soil under my feet. For the past few weeks, everything had been off, uncomfortable in every possible way, as if my skin itself was rebelling. To make things worse, I was stuck living in a crumbling tenement where even breathing felt like a task. I'd found the ad printed on greasy newspaper wrapped around a parcel of rice from the corner tea stall. A room for rent, cheap, no deposit. I didn't think twice, called the number immediately. A broker picked up, said I could move in today if I brought the advance. Now I was here, waiting for him. Somewhere close by was the house. The phone rang. "Hello, Saab," a worn-out voice crackled on the other end. The broker. He was standing across the street, waving. He came over and shook my hand like I was an old friend returning from war. He smiled, switching between Tamil and Malayalam with ease. "The house is just down this alley," he said, pointing ahead. The path was narrow, uneven, flagged with slick stones. I stepped cautiously. As we walked, I asked him, "Usually houses around here are expensive. How is this one so cheap?" He glanced around first, then lowered his voice. "Not hiding anything from you, Saab. There was an incident. A husband and wife lived here before. One day, someone broke in, raped and killed the wife. When the husband returned, he caught the man and beat him to death." I paused. A house like that, no matter the rent. By then, we had climbed the steps and reached the door. Room 312. He must have seen the hesitation on my face. "Don't worry, Saab, nothing to worry about. Others have lived here after that. No problems." He opened the door and stepped inside. The room wasn't bad, spacious, functional. But something inside me recoiled. The man, now? "Who, Saab?" he asked, showing me the bathroom. "The husband?" I asked. "Oh, gone mad, Saab. Long time now." He kept talking, probably explaining more. I wasn't listening. In my mind, I could only see the husband, the wife. That night, that blood. I signed the lease the same day, paid the advance. Didn't have much stuff to move anyway. Later that night, I took a shower and lay on the bed. Sleep wouldn't come. I kept replaying the story like a play inside my head. Restless, I got up and opened my laptop, logged into Facebook, leaned back against the wall and scrolled mindlessly. Then, a sound, a soft chime. I looked around, confused at first, then saw it. A message notification on the screen. Someone had commented under a photo of mine. Just one word, "Hello," from a strange, unfamiliar name, Caparosa. The end.